Hey folks, this is Riker with a gaming news wrap-up video where we discuss the happenings of the week. This week's topics include Bethesda and Blizzard somehow managing to continue to find ways to piss people off, some exciting new RPGs on the horizon, and a roundup of some other current action RPG news. As always, discussion timestamps can be found in the video description, and just before we dive in, just a quick reminder to ring that sub notification bell to be alerted of new Saturday episodes. We'll start with some quick news, including the fact that Epic Games has launched the Epic Games Store, a competitor to Steam. And with the Epic Games Store, developers will get to keep 88% of their total sales revenue, as opposed to on Steam where it's about 70%. And furthermore, since Epic owns and licenses the Unreal Engine, and countless devs have used this engine to build their games, Epic will be effectively waiving this licensing fee to devs who publish on their platform. And to incentivize consumers to adopt the Epic Games Store, Epic will be releasing throughout 2019 a free game on the store once every 2 weeks, with the first two free games being Subnautica and Epic Meat Boy. In other news, the Game Awards took place this week, an event in which not only are awards given out to games, but we also tend to see game previews, trailers, reveals here. And there's two particular games that I want to highlight here, the first of which is a teaser for a new Dragon Age game, which we've known for a while has been in development, but this is the first official reveal. But then the bigger reveal came from Obsidian, who showcased The Outer Worlds, a game that they prominently marketed as being from the original creators of Fallout and Fallout New Vegas. And you definitely get that New Vegas vibe from the trailer. It's charming, it looks great, and this is a game that I'm getting hyped about. I encourage you to check out both trailers, links in the video description. And this transitions us into Fallout 76 news, because it seems that Obsidian really capitalized on the negative fallout surrounding this game's launch. Now, we've been covering this story for a couple weeks now, and last week we ended off by saying this: I look forward to seeing what we have to report next week, because every time we think this situation can't get any worse, something more comes out. And lo and behold, here we are this week with perhaps the worst controversy to emerge surrounding this game, in which Bethesda effectively doxed some of its clients. Now, at first I was going to discuss a few other things about Fallout 76 this week, including how Bethesda released a patch that included a bunch of stealth nerfs that weren't in the patch notes, so people were upset. You know, why not just include it in the patch notes? What happened to transparency and communication? I was going to mention how people are complaining about the game's respec system, but this story just trumps all that. This week, a couple owners of Fallout 76 started to report that when they were logging in to check the status on their support ticket for the game, they were able to see other people's support tickets. Lots of them. Support tickets filled with lots of personal data. To quote one consumer, Jesse Pye, "As of this moment, I am receiving every single one of your support tickets on my Bethesda account. Mostly it's your receipts for your power armor set requesting a new bag. These receipts contain all your info, your email and home address, and the card you used to buy this extremely glitched game." She further clarified, "Note, only the last 4 digits of the credit cards were visible, and only on the receipts players submitted with their nylon bag replacement ticket." As a reminder, last week we covered the controversy about the collector's edition that promised a canvas bag and instead delivered a much cheaper nylon bag, and Bethesda asked for proof of purchase in order to do anything about it, so people were sending in information that validated that yes, they purchased this, that confirmed their identities, and now this information for some people has been made public. Another consumer, Radioactive Trinket, said this, quote, "I went on the support website today to update a ticket of mine, and surprisingly, or not, I ended up being able to see all sorts of tickets with people putting their personal information in them, like receipt screenshots, names, addresses, and so on. I'm assuming this is a bug in the website, because I don't see for what reason Bethesda would make tickets public." He went on to say that I can see receipts from people all over the world. Yikes. Now, Bethesda tweeted an official reply, and we'll skim quote through this, Quote, on December 5th, we experienced an error with our customer support website that resulted in the exposure of a limited number of customer support tickets. They state that they immediately solved the issue and then looked into the extent of the damage. Quote, from our investigation, we learned that there was a brief period of time during which customers accessing our website may have been able to view the customer support tickets submitted by other customers during this same time period. We believe this exposure window lasted about 45 minutes. During this exposure window, fewer than 123 customer support tickets were submitted and may have been partially or fully viewed by others accessing the website. Of those 123 tickets, it appears that no more than 65 customer support tickets contained personal data that may have been exposed. And upon review of the exposed tickets, we have confirmed that no user account passwords or full credit card numbers were included. The personal data exposed within the customer support tickets included name, username, and contact information. Example, email, address, not email address, as an email and physical mailing address, and phone number. So don't worry, guys, it wasn't that bad. Only 65 people got doxxed. Just calm down, everyone. Only 65 people are potentially vulnerable to getting harassed now over the phone or by being mailed death threats because someone on the forums doesn't like them. Why are they downplaying the severity of this? This seems like a completely different tone than they've been adopting with their sincere apologies, and I wonder if it's because Bethesda can find themselves in legal trouble over this. Government privacy laws are real and scary. Now, as we move on to other news, last week when we wrapped up our Fallout 76 news, we ended on a note that I honestly didn't think things would get worse. This time, I'll flat out state, I sincerely hope that next week I have nothing to report on about Fallout 76. Because at this point, the only thing that I could imagine possibly being worse would be if it came out that the DVDs on which Fallout 76 was sold were literally giving you radiation poisoning. On to some quick Overwatch news. At the Game Awards, Overwatch won Best Esport for 2018, and we have word of the Winter Wonderland Christmas, non-Christmas event returning this year beginning December 11th, running until January 2nd, and we've seen 2 skins revealed, possibly more by the time this video goes live, including Arctic Fox Lucio and Snowboarder Zarya. Furries rejoice. On to action RPG news. Grim Dawn has been on sale this week on GOG.com. I'm not sure if it'll still be on sale by the time this video goes live, but if you are a new Grim Dawn player, I encourage you to check out the website grimtools.com. It has a robust tool set including item and monster databases, as well as a build calculator and more. On to quick Wolcen news. The technical beta phase 2 is being extended until December 13th, and a patch has come through that introduces 2 new skills, a new enemy, a new unique item, and more. If you haven't seen my video on the multiplayer beta of Wolcen, I encourage you to check that out. Some quick Torchlight Frontiers news, and yes, I will try to say Frontiers now, because apparently no one else in the world says Frontiers except for myself and my immediate family. I don't know if it's a Montreal thing, but Torchlight Frontiers had a new alpha running starting on Friday, ending on Monday, that's December 10th. And alongside this, we've also seen the reveal of a new class video, the Dusk Mage, that looks pretty cool. Seems to use a duality of spell elements, light and dark, and each of those 2 types of spells have different styles and effects to them. On to some Path of Exile news. Patch 3.5 and the new League Betrayal launched yesterday. And I also put out a beginner guide to Path of Exile. If you're new to the game or just need a bit of a refresher, I encourage you to check out that video. This week we saw the patch notes for 3.5 come up, and they are extensive. We're talking about 8,000 words worth of patch notes. There's tons of balance changes, lots of new content, and in addition to all that, we also got a blog post explaining the philosophy behind some of the changes. I'll drop those links in the video description. I also came upon this wonderful Reddit post by the Boruek that compiled a list of tools and utilities that can help you out in Path of Exile, and I think this is a fantastic list. For instance, if you're going to get into trading in a serious capacity, then using the PoE trade macro and Mercury trade are basically required. These are tools that I myself have used, and then tools that I'm looking to use. I'm recording this before I actually play Betrayal League, but I'm hoping to use them for Betrayal League. PoE Level Buddy and PoE Leveling Overlay. These sound very interesting. I hope they work for the new league. But if you have experience with these or any other tools on the list, or you suggest any other tools for new players, obviously, Filter Blade, never sync filters, I encourage you to post them in the video comments. Alright, on to Diablo news. We got official word of the ending date to Season 15 and the start date of Season 16. Quote, in order to ensure a smooth transition between seasons and give players extra time to enjoy the double bounty cash buff, we will be ending Season 15 on January 6th. With this, Season 16 is scheduled to begin on January 11th. Now, this doesn't come as much of a surprise to me. I know a lot of people wanted to play the new season during the Christmas break, but Blizzard tends to not launch a new season right before all their employees go on vacation because they need to be there in order to ensure that any bugs that emerge can be rapidly addressed. And further, with the launch delay issues we saw with this season's PTR, I suspect that the team currently in charge of Diablo 3, which I suspect is the Classic Games team, definitely wants to ensure that they don't screw anything up. And while this is downer news for many people, I'm personally happy that the new season will start during the Darkening of Tristram event, because it's always a fun leveling experience to start a new character and level them up during the Darkening of Tristram. It's just a change of pace from the same old, same old. In other Diablo news, we've seen a trailer emerge for what I believe to be the largest and most robust and longest-lived Diablo 2 mod ever, Median XL. I encourage you to check out the trailer yourself, but they've got a new version of this mod coming out on January 18th. This is effectively a total conversion mod for Diablo 2, and with this patch we're seeing new skills, new areas, new monsters, new bosses. Yes, you're seeing Asmodean right there. New items, crafting system, and it's all built on a new engine, which is to me the most impressive thing. We're also getting a new interface, bigger inventory, boss events, automatic pickup, thank goodness, dungeons, rifts, and for more details, go to median-xl.com. Again, links in the video description. And in our final piece of news here, how Blizzard has once again managed to upset some people. Oh boy. Blizzard is running a contest, which is great. A contest in which you can win the Nintendo Switch Diablo 3 Eternal Collection Edition. So you basically win a Diablo 3 themed Switch, you win Diablo 3, the game, on Switch, and in addition to that, you also win a Nintendo Switch Online 12-month membership and a Dark Wanderer backpack. That's all super cool. I would be thrilled to win a prize like that, but here's the catch on how to enter. You have to take a picture of yourself, basically playing Diablo 3 on Nintendo Switch. So to win a Nintendo Switch and Diablo 3 on the Switch, you need to have a photo of yourself playing Diablo 3 on a Nintendo Switch. Which, for a lot of people, means, so I need to already own a Switch and Diablo 3 in order to win the same thing I already have. Now, that's not technically the case. If you have a friend or a family member that owns D3 on Switch, then you can use theirs. Or I'm given to understand that apparently there are some stores in America where you could actually go and play the game in store. Where I live, this isn't a thing. So while it's great that Blizzard is having this contest, the optics on it, at least in some people's view, is not very good, given the criteria for winning. And that's gonna wrap up this week's video. But in case you haven't, be sure to have checked out last week's video, in which we discussed Blizzard's official and final response on the Diablo Immortal fiasco. Thanks for watching. Special thanks to my Twitch and Patreon supporters for making these videos possible. If you like what you see on this channel and want to support the creation of more content, you can consider becoming a Royal Raider on Patreon, where your support is immensely appreciated. We've got a variety of backer rewards, including behind-the-scenes content, monthly virtual hangouts, and more. If you enjoyed this video, please share it, check out these other videos, and subscribe to join Riker's Raiders for more gaming content.